Hello and welcome to round number 10 of Rony's Tuesday Fun Race in 2023. We're approaching the end of the first season of 2 this year with the 306th edition of this fabled series in Live for Speed, with the FZ50 GTR, a very, very fast rear-wheel drive GTR car in Live for Speed, at an even faster track, South City Chicane route. Eoin Harmon joins me in the commentary box this evening. Eoin, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm keeping well, Pete. Thanks for asking, and how are you?
I'm all good, ready to go for a grey day actually around South City this evening. Let's have a look at the calendar. We have 2 rounds to go after this one at 2 combinations which are TBC. I think actually we do know the combination for round 11. We'll get to that at the end of the broadcast. But yes, we are approaching the summer break for RTFR, at which point there will be a 3-round break on our channel, and then we will return for season 2 at the end, or some way in the middle of summer. But yeah, Eoin, it's been a good season so far, but tonight we are back at South City. We've had a lot of South City on our channel recently at the 2.9 kilometre, 1.8 mile South City Chicane route course, the latest addition to the combinations, the official combinations at South City in LFS. And tonight we're going to have 32 laps with the FZR, which is a fantastic car. I think you'll agree, Eoin?
Yeah, 100%. It is a fabulous car to have around, and yeah, the bumps in particular could unsettle the drivers if they have an inefficient suspension setup, but I'd say they're all ready to go.
Yes, the 3.6 litre flat 6 rear engine rear wheel drive car, part of the GTR, the standard GTR class in Live for Speed, the only car in the GTR class being used here, but it is a lot of fun to drive. Slightly easier in most respects than the XRR. It's XRT inspired sister, but yeah, a little bit more tricky than the FXR, which is the 4-wheel drive FXO equivalent in the GTR spec. But yeah, we have 27 drivers who have set time in qualifying. So before we do that, let's talk about the Drivers' Championship standings and how that's currently shaping up. It's Sidus Gabor leading the way with 217 points. He's currently second in the qualifying. It's Antti Valter in P2, Rick Cardle in P3. He's currently P3 in qualifying as well. But the man on pole at the moment in qualifying, it's for Tausas Lagutskas, excellent 15 there with 146 points. In the Driver Championship standings. The top 10 are Thamuli, Fatal, Asker, Unite, Michael, and Rony himself. And Eoin, yeah, we'll let these results slide on by. But yeah, a good tight top of the table this year.
Yeah, I suppose Gabor has pulled out a little bit extra of a lead. It could prove to be critical. I'm not sure if Antti Velta is here. I don't see his name. So yeah, it's really up to Lagutskas to try and close the gap and make it a strong finale. Yeah, this is a great opportunity for the Sidus guys to just rack up more points.
Yeah, there are currently 3 of them on the server, and they're all inside the top 4. So yeah, we're going to see some more Sidus activity. We're at the end of the results. There we go. 83 drivers, methanol there with the final point in the drivers' championship standings, and there's still plenty of time. 3 races, including tonight, to add some people to this list. So come on, dust off your sim rig and get into the server in 2 weeks' time to join RTFR in 2023. All right, Owen, that's enough of us chatting. Let's go to the action on the track and see what's going on in qualifying.
Yeah, so it is one of our shorter layouts here in LFS. We have tempted our drivers to go for 3-minute laps and above, but there you can see the challenge of the bus stop chicane. They're really hitting the wall. He seems to be able to carry on before the run down past the railway line and onto the start finish straight. Yeah, P9 is very encouraging. If he can get underneath that 1-minute barrier, he'd be very pleased.
Yeah, he will indeed as he runs up to the start-finish line. The car is extremely twitchy over these bumps, as you're about to see as we ride on board now with Thamuli. P9, good effort so far. Takes 2 stabs at the first apex as he powers up the 3.6 litre up the hill along the freeway, and yeah, he's got plenty of space ahead of him, Owen, to spot the braking zone for this tricky downhill right-hander. Plenty of apexes to hit and plenty of walls to be avoiding. A little bit tentative on the brakes, actually. Again, a couple of turns in, taps the apex of the first, nicely through the third, and then we've got this tricky chicane section, the section where this track gets its name, and it's a little bit forced. Had to adjust in the middle there, but yeah, this track is extremely demanding, and there we are already at the final corner, nicely out onto the main straight for Thamuli. Let's see if it's an improvement. I think he's just on a race sighter run here, just trying to build up confidence on his racing setup. But yeah, the length of this straight is phenomenal. It goes from one end to the other of the track, but it's very, very tricky when you've got cars that you're following, because you know that rear wing generates quite a lot of downforce, but also quite a lot of dirty air if you're following closely. No improvement on that lap from Thamuli, and 2 minutes 50 to go.
Yeah, I'd imagine our top 5 are pretty secure in position. Maybe one last participant can grab the headlines, but we're now checking Gabor's progress. There was a brief shot of weed, I suppose we'll say, with the 2 number 3s in the name. Here's on board with Gabor. He needs to find another 1200ths of a second to secure a pole position outright. Otherwise, it will be going to Laguskas. We'll see what happens here. Is he going to improve? No, it doesn't appear so.
Well, he was doing a warm-up through the chicane, so this will be probably one of his final attempts of the session. Hard on the brakes, a little bit deep at the apex. Manages to get it slowed down, actually. Runs 2 wheels over the curb as well, so right on the markers there. I thought he'd overshot that. That's how on the edge he is as we head up to the first sector line. This will be his first indication of whether he's on a good lap, of course. So he may abort if he's not happy with it, but he's committed to the lap. Very, very, very early downshift there, using all of the engine braking available. He's got a bit of traffic ahead. He's not going to enjoy that. He is going to meet it just as he exits the chicane. The car ahead. Oh, and he's actually tapped the barrier. Yeah. Yes, aborts the run. He would have been slightly distracted, I think, by the car ahead of him there. But, you know, that's one of the things that you've got to focus on in qualifying. You need to get your laps in early to avoid the crowds later on.
Yeah, definitely go along with that. Strandberg, who was that vehicle ahead of Gabor, is 25th, so just above the final row. Yeah, we'll see if there is any improvement. Yeah, the most drivers will have easily reached the minimum time they need to get through. You see now Jimmy in this sort of Porsche-inspired livery. Not too many decals on it, otherwise you'll have to look on the side skirts there, the GT3 RS stripe. That's about all you can tell from it. So now we'll see if Jimmy can get among the drivers with team representatives and make himself very, very well poised for the race.
Yeah, across the line he comes, and well, no improvement on that laps. P8 for him as we take a look then at Gabor coming out of the final corner. Can he get across the start-finish line to start one final attempt? Yes, I think he can. And do we chance an onboard with him? I wonder. Yeah, we might as well. Why not? Let's go on board with Gabor for his final attempt of the session. Can he get that 11 hundredths? In fact, he needs 12 hundredths, doesn't he, to go in front of Legutskas on this, his final attempt, as the clock winds its way down to 0. A little bit deep at the apex. He's not going to be happy with that, but is it enough? We will see as we head back up the freeway. Gabor's already a little bit on the back foot after that first corner. He won't have enjoyed being half a car width from the apex. But anyway, let's see if he gets a nicer run through the chicane this time. It is all about being absolutely perfect to get pole here in RTFR. The margins at the top are so fine, as you can tell, between the two front runners at the moment. Let's see how he does the chicane. Oh, sweet as a whistle, Eoin. Full commitment.
Yeah, that was absolutely gorgeous driving, and he's clear to go. His split time was actually better than what I remember from our previous onboard shot, so he shouldn't be discouraged. He can go all the way to the line. It should be definitely under 58, but is it good enough for pole? Oh, 58.89. No, it's not good enough. Fantastic effort, though.
Yeah, fantastic to bring the deficit to pole down to just 600ths of a second. That's how close it's going to be on the front row. Hopefully, Legutskas takes the start of the race. Because this is going to be a showdown to end all showdowns between these two tonight. We've got, almost 4 tenths back to Rick Cardle, and Rick Cardle, as we know, is no slouch. Unite's done a good job there, 4 tenths back as well. 136 miles per hour was the final car across the line, which means we have a full set of results to run through before the start of the race. On pole position, it's going to be Vitaltas Legutskas driving for Yes Motorsports. Then it's going to be the Sidus trio of Gabor, Rick Cardle, and Nico Pantola. That's Unite to everyone else. We've got Born to Race Twin Cam in P5, TC Racing's Adam in P6, Born to Race 136 miles per hour, Jimmy, Lorenzo, and Thamuli, the top 10. Then it's Rony in P11, Doni, T-Bug, Timu Soini, Motti Makari, Yari Katila, Asker, Ayub El Hanouni, Sobis in P11, and Magic rounds out the top 10. Just a couple of drivers over on the second page of results, 7 I believe. We've got Lara for TR, we've got LG Mies for Zafaralis, we've got Yaroslav Donlik, Weed, PP, Strandberg, and M. Benzer the final time. But Benzer's time well outside the 110. Not sure he will be starting today's race. So, Eoin, we have an extremely entertaining combo in prospect here with some extremely fast drivers. The top 7 are inside 1 second of each other. So it's going to be quite the fireworks into turn 1.
Yeah, definitely. And I know from 2 weeks ago there was possibility of a shock, but we couldn't have foreseen exactly what was to follow on Kyoto Oval, wasn't it? So, there is probably a bit more parity among the drivers, but it's absolutely fantastic to see the quality on show from so many drivers, and that should mean we'll get plenty of racing up and down the grid.
We will, because as you said last time out, the oval with the Formula Skippy mod was a lot more drama filled than we would have thought. I don't think there was much tangling while doing slipstreaming. It was more the turn 3 that caught everyone out. Today, it's going to be the chicane. If someone has an incident going into the chicane, there is nothing that anybody else can do behind other than hope that they can squeeze through. It is a little bit reminiscent of some of the corners at Macau, Eoin, I think that's fair to say, but probably a little bit more severe. The pinch points are quite small here.
Yeah, Macau is definitely a great comparison. Obviously, we know the larger combinations at South Sea. They will be the real tests for cars such as this, but in this more confined layout, you can see all the corners that you hope to see are all here, but it's going to be so rapid. Particularly the turns 3 and then the bus stop chicane. Get those right, and you should be absolutely sorted for your lap. But there's so much that can go wrong here if you're not careful.
Yeah, that's true. And the drivers are going to have to navigate the chicane 32 times during this race, with lap times just under a minute. We don't expect the drivers to be doing under a minute lap times with race fuel in immediately, but maybe we'll be surprised. I wonder what the fastest lap is going to be today. Pole was of 58.83, so keep that in mind as we watch the racing today. We'll keep an eye on those lap times and see just how close the drivers are able to get to that magic pole position time number. All right, if you're just joining us, welcome along. This is the 306th Rony's Tuesday Fun Race. We've just had qualifying. 27 cars will start the race. In fact, that's going to be 26. We don't think Benza will take the start. And if you want to get involved in RTFR, there are plenty of ways to do it. There's various race green events running every single week of the year. We have the 2 RTFR, the normal 35-minute sprint race editions every 2 weeks. Then we've got the XL version, the Rony's Tuesday Fun Race Extra Large, 1 hour and 17-ish minute endurance race every month, so one of those a month. And a new series by, or relatively new series, by Race Green is the Random Car that happens on the RTFR gap, if we want to call it that.
Yes, the break week, I suppose. Yeah, that is a good idea to keep people who are probably free and ready for that Tuesday to still be getting to work and trying out different cars.
Well, it certainly gives Rony a lot of work to do. Fair play to him. In terms of RTFR, the first season, of course, there are 2 seasons this year. We have 2 rounds to go after this one. And I said we had confirmation of the track for the next edition, the 307th edition of RTFR, and I can confirm that that's going to be the LX6 at Fern Bay Black reversed, which is, Owen, that is a belter of a combo. The LX6 at FE4R.
Yeah, that's a real daunting challenge for all the drivers. There's so much corners to get through, and the very small but determined LX4 will be another case of you've got to really give your heart and soul to that one.
Extremely nimble, extremely light, extremely difficult to manhandle over the huge curbs and bumps at Fern Bay. That is going to be one to watch for sure. I wonder what the turnout's going to be for that. That is challenging, and we're going to have we're going to have a lot of calibre at the top. So don't miss out on May 23rd, the penultimate round of RTFR. Anyway, back to tonight's action. We have, how long do we have, Owen? We've got 4 minutes to go before the drivers are readying up for the start of the race. So yeah, I'm just wondering what else we can talk about. Who have we got here today? We have got the Gutsgas, mighty fast in the GTRs, a force to be reckoned with. Here he is, currently doing some warming up. He's got Vroom written all over his sun strip, so clearly we're expecting some fast things from him today, Owen. Yeah, he's a force to be reckoned with in the GTRs.
Yeah, that's his bread and butter. So putting a dent into his ambitions. It's really Sidus guys and Twin Cam that can probably give him the most threat. But obviously, Adam Brown in 6th place. I've seen him in GT2 Challenge myself. I had him in the 6 hours of West Hill. That was absolutely engaging to see him on his top form, and hopefully he delivers again.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, every time I hear the FZR, especially running around South City, it just makes me want another endurance race. I think everybody is ready for another endurance race, so we'll just have to wait and see what happens about that. But the FZR is a proper endurance racing car. So having it for a sprint race kind of feels a little bit like the Porsche Carrera Cup in the UK, and where we see these things following the touring cars around. These are a bit faster than those. But it's a similar vibe.
Yeah, that is very true. But I suppose with this car, you will be putting even more power in, and it's such a narrow event, whereas the Carrera Cup is usually on the Motorsport Vision sort of tracks that will be wide, nice and wide for the most part, and gets to show those Porsches in a very encouraging light.
Yeah, for sure. Let's run through these qualifying order one more time. The Gutskas will line up alongside Gabor. Then it's Rick Cardle and Unite on row 2, with Twin Cam and Adam on row 3. 136 and Jimmy on row 4. Lorenzo will be alongside Thamuli. Then we've got Rony and Doni, the rhyming duo there on row 6 with T-Bug alongside Timu Soini. Motta McCarry, the second driver from Zafaralis in P15. Then Yari Katila, the sponsoring team of World Class Lions. They are sponsoring the RTFR and RTFR XL championships this year. So Asker will line up alongside him, or rather behind him. Then we've got Ayub alongside Asker and Sobis alongside Magic in P20. We have had confirmation that Benza won't be starting the race, which means the 6 drivers that will be joining the top 20 are Lara, Mies, Donleek, Weed, Pepe, and Jay Strandberg. So the spread of times actually, Owen, is pretty decent in this race.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, lots of drivers. I suppose the mean will be the 1 minute, so the vast majority have a minute as their best lap time, and then it's really just a case of the 1 minute 2s at the bottom and then the 58s at the top. That should mean a very competitive race, and the drivers expecting this one to fly by. There shouldn't be any major delays.
No, it is 10 past the hour, so we should be seeing the drivers readying up in the background, getting ready for the start of a 32-lap dash around the... how many corners has it got? 10 corners officially on this track. Super tricky. 320 corners where all the apexes are made of, corrugated something or other. Chris, what are they made of, these Armco? Remind me. Galvanized steel, he says. So there we go. I couldn't think of the word. But actually, they're made of. I can't even think of the word. Anyway, rolled steel or something. It's a tricky track. The drivers are going to start readying up in the background any minute now. Some drivers still out on track, furiously speeding around. There goes Adam in the background, trying to get in all the laps they can before we get going for the start. So we'll give the drivers a couple more moments before we call this action. Here we go, Owen. The start of the race.
Yeah, the first 3 rows there are set to a slight angle. That could give the drivers in about 8th or below a little bit of advantage, unless their wheel spin gets too out of control. But we'll wait for the lights to illuminate. Here they are. And the launch. It's go. Let's see. Sidus guys all get into formation. The Gusgas defending from Gabor. Gabor doesn't need to risk anything crazy with the championship in mind, and there is Rick Cardle who is risking it, trying to put off the Gusgas. A slide there as Unite was looking. Twin Cam survives there in 5th and Adam 6th.
Yeah, mega start from all the drivers there. What an awesome launch, as it looks like Gabor and Rick Cardle are already going to be tangling side by side. Rick Cardle looking for a way round. Gabor having to feel as though he needs to go a bit defensive, as Unite's been pushed a little bit offline by Twin Cam there. So Twin Cam trying to find a way through. Side by side action in the background. Jimmy almost going 3 wide here. This isn't going to work out, boys. Oh, as Jimmy gets forced wide, and somehow, Owen, they find their way through in single file.
Yeah, it was Jimmy who got caught out after turn 4. T-Bub on the inside. The Hamuli also took advantage of the situation. So Jimmy down 2. So first lap completely. Gusgas holds his lead. It's half a second over Gabor. Sidus guys maintaining position, so they should have something brewing as the laps tick away. And Lorenzo was behind Adam there in 7th, so that's not too bad. Battle of Jimmy versus Iron Donny for 10th place. There we go. There's another loss of position for Jimmy. Would have been hopeful for his fortunes, obviously, given his qualifying pace, but now it's the race costing him. So now the experience of Iron Donny has also put him aside. The Gusgas looks to have grown his lead even more, Pete.
Yeah, it's creeping up. We're going to get some updates of the gaps as the drivers stream across start-finish, but at the moment the Gusgas leads by 0.6 of a second over Gabor. Then it's Rick Cardle and Unite, and we've got side-by-side action. Well, we did have. Thamuli's managed to get through on T-Bug. So T-Bug is coming back for a bit of a send. Thamuli leaves him the room, but will have the better exit, I'm sure. And, T-Bug's now on the defence from Donny. Donny on the inside going up the highway. And, that's going to be job done easily by the time they turn into the next corner, Owen.
Yeah, that is absolutely sorted now, unless T-Bug wants that turn 4 opportunity again. No, he's not going to get it. So they'll have to stay in a line. Oh, big slide for T-Bug. Jimmy will get his payback on him. So there we go. Jimmy rejoins the top 10.
Yeah, Yari Katilla fancies a sniff as well now. He can see what's gone on as he's he's gone for the move, and they've come together actually at the apex. Yari Katilla was well alongside, but they've come together nonetheless. And well, that's a shame for everyone involved.
Yeah, but they'll dust themselves off and carry on. That's Lorenzo. Now we look back to Yari Katilla.
Yeah, that was Ayub just getting through, I think.
Yeah, that's Ayub. Yeah.
Fastest lap goes to Lagutskas, 7/10 of a second now, as we will switch back to look at Donny now at making another move, this time on Thamuli, and he's through already before he turns in again, so that's 2 in 2 laps for him. But yeah, let's stay with him. Let's see how quickly he can latch onto the back of Lorenzo as they roll through this chicane. Donny much more
Lorenzo hit
there.
The wall. Rear view probably underestimated how hard he hit the wall, but thankfully he caught the slide. And as far as Lorenzo's concerned, he's got to get the slipstream. The dirty air effect is proving costly for these drivers. But yeah, Donny through, and Lorenzo needs to probably concede the position. Now he's turning in.
Yeah, he didn't see him there.
Yeah, he wouldn't have seen him. Yeah, he thought he was clear, but obviously not.
I mean, this car's loud enough. He would have known he was there, I think. But yeah, that could have been a lot worse. But anyway, Lorenzo just about still in this. Now Thamuli's going to have a run of it. Yeah,
now Thamuli will know exactly what to do. Lorenzo should see him now. He's picked the inside line. He puts it very close to the inside barrier. But enough's enough, says the Thamuli, and he's through.
Yeah, someone else is on the move. Is TC Racing's Adam. He's just picked Unite to take P4 in the race. He's got a little bit of a team conflict today. He's running a sim broadcast livery with the TC Racing name. So, doing a lot of advertising for various people.
Yeah, we'll take it. He obviously has he usually has sim broadcast liveries ready to go in his arsenal. Bohr gets fastest lap this time around, and he has given Lagutskas something to think about there.
Yeah, Mantas is having a race with Oscar down to start finish. Here we go, and that is Mantas through on the World Class Lions driver. So Born to Race head. Oh, as Oscar goes for a quick return. I think Mantas was a bit spooked on the brakes because of all the cars ahead of him. Ayub's now going to overtake him after that.
Oscar was late on the brakes.
Sorry, that's magic.
As far as I'm concerned, he was the latest of the late breakers. Unfortunately, that proved Mantas's undoing. He was tapped around. I suppose Arska has to yield in a safe place. And the show for Unite. Unite has lost the place to Adam off camera. So, oh yeah, so
yeah,
missed that entirely. But yeah, Adam through. And Unite must have had a collision or something. There's damage on the rear left.
Yeah, something's gone on to allow Adam through. But yeah, Adam's on a bit of a charge. He's got a bit of a deficit to the back of Rick Carl. So a lot of pushing to do before he catches up to the back of the next Sidus car. There's the gap. The last lap pretty much the same. Oh, we've got a huge crash with Yari Katilla, who's also taken out his teammate and a couple of others. This has happened in a strange spot. Who's that speared into the wall? It's Mantas.
Yeah.
So through the flat-out jumpy part of the course, Yari Katilla's had a massive accident and has speared into not only his teammate, I believe it was it Asker? Yeah, it was. Look at the front of Asker's car. Asker's car's destroyed.
Yeah, so just
Magic and Motta McCarry also coming together here, Owen. Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, just to clarify, Mantas wasn't a driver who set a qualifying lap time when he was granted entry at the last minute. So his ambitions of gaining further positions are dashed. Yeah, that's a real shame. And obviously the teammates ending up in a big collision. I think Arska's day is run here if he can't handle that suspension damage.
Yeah, pretty much sure you're right there. As we've got further action, we've got Jimmy, our Porsche driver here, catching up to the back of Abe. A good race between these two at the moment. Abe doing very nicely as well. Currently the highest placed Born to Race driver. Of course, Born to Race recently launched their brand new Turbo Cup series, which runs every single Wednesday. And yeah, we're broadcasting a few of those this year, Owen. So good to see some more series cropping up. As we've got Mies, who is live on Twitch, as you can see there in the bottom right of your screens. He's currently in a bit of a fight with Yarrick Attila, with Mantas, after Mantas has had to recover, and Weed behind him. So if you want to see what it currently looks like from the cockpit of Mika Sarkkinen, LG Mies, then you can do on his Twitch channel, twitch.tv/LG Mies. There we go. So a bit of advertising for him, as Asker does indeed, Owen, go into the pit lane. He's just making his way up to the pit entrance.
Yeah, I suppose I didn't say it for sure, but Twin Cam felt his setup was unstable, so he decided to call it a day, and he loses out on his 6th place or thereabouts. Yeah, that's how AU became the baton holder for Born to Race.
We are about to start the 10th lap, and the front of the race is spicing up. We are looking from the onboard of Gabor for the Siders team, who is chasing down the back of Lugutskas for Yas Motorsport. And I think things are about to get pretty spicy here, because these two are pushing absolutely to the edge. We've got a spinner at the chicane. Yaroslav Donlik gets well out of the way of the other runners. Oh, what does he know? Oh, he should have. I think he should have committed to that. And he pulled out and then stopped on the racing line. That was unfortunate. Needs to get that car moving, because we will have the leaders coming through soon. There we go. He is on his way. Yeah, absolutely fantastic stuff to well, get that car moving, but a few casualties of that. But yeah, it's getting close at the front, Owen, between these two.
Yeah, this is Gabor reaching his ascendancy now after probably being outpaced by Lugutskas, and now he is in the groove. So we'll see if he can get a little bit of slipstream on this lap, and the gap should be fairly stable. Yeah, just underneath half a second. Better lap time from Lugutskas this time around, actually, but not by very much at all. Yeah, the hill climb onto the highway. Feels so short in this car before they head onto the other exit, and then this incredible double-hander to the right. Oh, Lugutskas a bit loose, actually, just out of camera shot. Gabor gives him a tap to say that's your final warning, otherwise I'm going to overtake you, and Donalik is going to be blue flagged here, so he'll get out of the way.
Yeah, sketchy moment there going into the chicane. Lugutskas was completely, well, he was a lot slower than he normally would be after that contact with the wall. Gabor obviously had nowhere to go, decided to give Lugutskas a little bit of a friendly bump to say, hey, look, I'm here. You need to stop making mistakes. Obviously, they don't want to lose time to the cars behind either, and well, Lugutskas needs to tighten up his lines, because if they have an accident, then it's going to wipe them both out of the race. Yeah, we are on to lap 12 now. Well, this lead battle isn't going to go anywhere, is it? We are going to be watching this till the end. This has been a theme, actually, of quite a few races recently, where it seems to be stalemate at the front until the very, very last minute, and then everything comes alive, Owen, so we'll keep an eye on it.
Yeah, exactly. We know from experience, so Gabor definitely has a preference for this first sector. He has the slipstream to help him out, and then it'll even out in this middle part of the track with the bus stop. And then Lugutskas gets a good launch before the start-finish straight. So we'll see this again. Yeah, good launch for sure. Adam is actually back behind tonight, so hopefully that is something I didn't forget to talk about. So there we go. It's back to 2-3-4 for the Purple Gang.
No, that is a world exclusive for you there, Owen. You can take that one.
Scoop, yeah.
Yeah, the scoop on that. So yeah, Adam dropping down a bit. Yeah, so good stuff from these two. but they are dropping back a little bit. They're enjoying themselves, but they are dropping back from the top three. The podium three are Lagutskas at this stage, who is currently 0.4 of a second ahead of Gabor. Let's see if he can get it through the chicane a little bit smoother than he did a couple of times ago, as we ride on board again with Gabor. Gabor is just so much tighter through the chicane, but he can't find a way through Lagutskas. Again, Lagutskas is just going to have such good exit out of this final corner that Gabor's not going to have any sort of chance to get back. Someone who is going to have a chance to get through is Rony on the outside of Martin McCarry. Surely not. Martin McCarry gives him space, but there's not going to be a way through there, Owen.
No, it's just far too risky as the walls come straight back on top of you before the turn 4 left. Martin McCarry gets a smoother exit from the bus stop. And now final second to last corner there. That's fine. So Martin McCarry keeping a hold of the position.
Yeah, as we watch from the top down, I reckon Rony's might have another opportunity here. He's just about within slipstream range, and I think Martin McCarry knows it. He's weaving about a bit. Actually, I think the gap is going up slightly, so not able really to make a move on this lap, but pretty close to the back in the braking zone. So yeah, there'll be an opportunity. He just needs to be patient. Speaking of opportunities, though, there's traffic afoot for the top two.
Yeah, carries on and on and on. So you just have to probably say, look, let's not do anything stupid as long as we get through these blue flags intact, and then we can race again as normal. Lagutskas has used this to his advantage, setting a new fastest lap of 59.5 seconds. Strandberg, we saw him in qualifying, interrupted Gabor's lap. But yeah, he's going to probably wait till the very last second. There you go, he merges there, so he can make sure he stays close to Jari Katila, who he's racing on track with.
Yeah, there's one more bit of traffic up ahead of the boys at the front. It's one of the world-class Lions drivers. I think it might be Soini or Asker, actually. I can't quite work out who. I think it's Asker who's repaired. So
oh, it is Asker, yeah.
Let's see how they navigate Asker on the home straight. Tucking into the rear slipstream. Oh, goodness me. The Lagutskas wanted all of the slipstream, but Asker was getting out of the way. And Lagutskas elected to follow him. But yeah, drive a little bit more of the racetrack than he needed to there. Gabor might have an opportunity here. Owen, no, slightly too wide after the apex. I thought Lagutskas got his line into the corner slightly wrong, but all good. Let's have a look at Ayub and let's see if he has a run on Lorenzo. Almost certainly. Oh, he moves to the outside. That'll be the inside for the next corner.
Yeah, those are nightmare moments when you're rubbing like that, and the risk of a lag contact. To everyone's relief, there was no such moment. So big gain there for Ayub. Lorenzo was a strong qualifier, but he has to carry on in the race here to possibly climb back up the grid. This is Rony now. He's going to try something similar to what he hoped to do before. He's waiting and waiting. You can see now Martin McCarry blocks the apex.
Yeah, Rony couldn't quite get done what Ayub managed to get done to Lorenzo. As we head through the first corner, we have, well, actually, who's that now up ahead of Lagutskas? That will be Jari Katila, judging by the amount of front-end damage. He moves well out of the way. Experienced hands, experienced eyes, moving out of the way of the top two as we weave our way through the chicane. Next up, it's going to be Mika, who might want to get out of the way sooner rather than later. There's not really much opportunity to do it.
No.
Now, oh, Gabor!
Oh!
He's hit the wall. Hard. Just caught it at the edge of the camera shot. It's a big error.
Oh my goodness. That could determine the fortune of the race. Gabor. And Rick is slow as well. What's going on here?
Oh, absolutely no one to blame except himself for that one. He must have clipped. Oh, as Unite also made an error. So 3 errors for 3 Zydus drivers in basically 2 corners, and Adam's going to have a run here. So the Lagutskas is going to run away. Adam's got some bent geometry by the looks of it, but still, it's not affecting him too much. He's managed to get back through on Unite after that error out of the final corner for Unite, and very unusual to see. Well, they all followed each other into walls.
Oh, this is hectic as you can get, but I think Guskas has shown a little bit of pity on Gabor. They're closed up again, so this is probably the advantage of RTF4. The drivers are more willing to cooperate and have a bit of fun. That's the whole point of the series. But yeah, we have a race back on again as Adam is now stuck behind Strandberg, and I want to make a point about Strandberg's front right. I think he's got heavy wear on that tyre, and it's causing him a lot of understeer.
Yeah, there wasn't really much he could do. He couldn't exactly just jump out of the way, but Gabor is almost certainly going to be losing time to Lagutskas now because of the damage that he would have picked up on that front left wheel. You can see the dent there, pretty big dent. That would write most GT cars off immediately, Eoin, but obviously Live for Speed's physics engine and the damage model a little bit more forgiving, say, than real life, but there we go. He's still in the race. He's still got an opportunity if Lagutskas trips up as well. We're over halfway, well, first blood to Gabor.
Yeah, so will Lagutskas live to regret being closed down after Gabor's smacking of the bus stop wall? So yeah, this race could have been a stroll to the end for Lagutskas, but he's decided he wants a challenge, and he should be clear of the bulk of the traffic until Magic, who is currently 16th.
For all of you T-Bug fans, he's out of the race. He made it to lap 19 before having to retire. An accident somewhere on circuit has forced him to leave the race, so T-Bug is out. Let's do a quick rundown of the order. Obviously, at the front, we've got Lagutskas and Gabor, and then it's Rickardle, and now this pair again. Oh, it always Unite runs quite wide in the slipstream there. Adam is running too much downforce on that car. He's being caught very, very easily at the end of the straights by Unite.
Yeah, it is a shame. If it wasn't the bus stop layout, he would be benefiting from all that downforce, particularly here. You want as much grip as possible. But yeah, you can see a little bit more agility on Adam's part. Unite has to wrestle his wheel. But yeah, as we get back onto start-finish straight, Unite will be straight into play, and Adam will live to think I should have been more careful next for my next setup.
Mantas is having a pass or an attempt on Rony as we go into the chicane section, and Mantas easily ran the outside there. Oh, that was a nice move indeed. He then is straight onto the back of Jimmy, so all action for him, no rest at all. Straight onto the next prey. Swings to the inside, has to go late on the brakes if he wants to make this move. Does so. Jimmy gives him plenty of room. Holds it on the outside. This isn't going to be straightforward. Oh, and there's massive contact, and Mantas is out into the pits, actually. Luckily to avoid the pit entry barrier there, Eoin.
Yeah, he's very fortunate. He didn't have a major shunt with that barrier. It was protruding.
Yeah, he took Jimmy completely by surprise.
Yeah, I think Jimmy was just sticking to his position, and Mantas just wanted to get a move on. Unfortunately, there was contact, and Mantas has another rescue job. It's the second one now.
Yeah, well, such is that. We have a development at the front. The gap between Gabor and Lagutskas is hovering around the minute mark. The second mark, and it hasn't moved in a couple of laps. So Lagutskas is in as comfortable a position as it's probably possible to be. He knows his rival has got a little bit of damage, as we're going to have to keep an eye on this fight for P4, I'm afraid, because I think Unite might have a chance here. Look at the amount of traffic ahead of Adam now. He's not going to enjoy looking at this.
It's stress and a half here for Adam. This is the prime opportunity for Unite. He's going to give him a tap.
Oh!
Maybe too much of a tap.
It's a disaster.
And Yari Satilla. Yari Satilla's ploughed in, unawares of the situation. Unite's back on his wheels. But yeah, this is mayhem. The comms need to go out and say something has gone wrong here.
Well, I don't really know what Unite was doing. Obviously, pushing a car there is going to unsettle it. So, I mean, Adam he couldn't have done anything. The car goes really light over there, and if you get an extra bit of momentum you weren't expecting, of course you're going to spin. So Unite completely to blame for that one. There's nothing Adam could have done at all. So I mean, at some point, when there was a car on its roof, was that Unite? Has he been? Yeah, he's been over.
Yeah,
Unite, you can see.
Was pitched into a full roll with the contact from Yari. Yari had no chance of avoiding him. He wouldn't have known, apart from just the yellow flag flash. But yeah, that was a terrifying moment.
Wow, that was absolute silliness from Unite, really. Not what we want to see. Adam gets to continue, but now has a lot more work to do if he wants to catch up to Rick Cardle. I mean, the only real chance he's got is if Rick Cardle also has a bit of an error. But yeah, Unite's threat on Adam is now neutralised. Unite's going to have to do something rather special if he wants to catch up after that.
Yeah, he will have felt the stress on his tyre, particularly the rear left. It would have been the most punished with the slide. Yeah, he should be able to relax now, just sort out that temperature, and then finish fourth at this stage.
Abe, we ride on board from the nose of his car as he's chasing down the back of Thamuli for Zafiralis. Zafiralis currently occupying 6th, 13th and 17th in this race, so a good turnout from them as always. They always turn up in their numbers to RTFR, but now Abe, for Born to Race, looks hungry for that number 6 position. So let's see, will he have a go before the end of the back straight? Will he push Thamuli into a slide like Unite did? I don't think so.
No, it shouldn't be anything of that ilk, but yeah, Ayub has completed that pass. And we'll take a note of the Born to Race green skin, and it's a hybrid of the two teams from an endurance race, I believe it was.
Yeah, I can't remember which one. What was the last endurance race we ran where we had the GTRs in it? I mean, was it the 6 hours of Kyoto or Aston? I want to say
Kyoto was
Kyoto.
That was earlier in the year.
Yeah, but that was multi-class. That was LMP2 and GTRs. Yeah. So that would have been what it was from. Yeah, Chris in our ears is. I don't know. What was that actually their team name? Born to Race Green? Because it's a great name. I think it was Born to Race Green. Okay. So yeah, great livery, collaboration, and very suitable to run that livery in RTFR. So yeah, applause here from the commentary box.
Let's look ahead of Ayub now, because Unite is really feeling the pain now of that accident. He says he can't even drive in a straight line. It turns sideways on the straights. So that's LG Meese getting out of the way, but needs to be aware of Ayub's presence as well. His teammate should be getting into his ear to say he's on his way too. So Unite is going to lose 5th position before too long.
Yeah, well, here they come streaking over start finish. You've got Unite, then a back mark. No, that's the Moonlit. No, who is that?
LG
in the middle. It's LG Meese, a back marker. And then it's Ayub who needs to try and get past Meese. Meese dives out of the way. And, well, now it's game on between Unite and Ayub. There's a whole train of cars behind Ayub who'd dearly like to get past Unite as well. So it's going to be an interesting afternoon, rest of the afternoon for Unite. The Gutscast comes across start-finish. 27 laps now. We're on lap 27. Fastest lap currently with him, but Gabor has brought the gap down to just under half a second, and it's back on, and there's traffic. This isn't over.
Yeah, the Montmacari Mantas battle for 13th. That'll be fiercely contested. So the race leaders have to probably have another bit of cooperation.
Yeah, this could absolutely affect it, Owen. This could absolutely affect the lead battle. Ball's had a big slide, but he's right up the back of Lagutskas. They're absolutely nose to tail as we go through the
Montmacari taps the wall. He'll be out of the way for sure. He spins it. Yeah, he's facing backwards. He's got to be clear in 3, 2, 1.
Don't rejoin.
Wow.
I hate seeing that when the drivers move forward when there's still traffic coming. Just take some time to look around before you rejoin the racing line. Luckily, no incidents, as Lagutskas has a free toe there, straight past the back marker. It's all go. We've got Ayub and Unite together. Ayub trying to go around the outside, and there's nothing Unite can do with that damage that he's got. Ayub's through and up into P. What is that now? P5 for him. Great effort.
Ayub is testing his luck. Oh, and now it's the Mooley through. Ayub has performed a 360. Lorenzo dive bomb. Oh.
An absolute missile on the back of Donny. So Donny is going to be absolutely livid with that one, but it's all gone off as they exit the chicane. Donny's out. He's given up. He's stationary. He's furious with that. Lorenzo out of absolutely nowhere, flies in and, well, ends his race for sure. But he's still sat at the exit of the final corner, so not ideal at all. But Thamuli now finds himself up into P5 through all, just keeping it clean. That's all you have to do around South City. You don't need to be the fastest to pick up places.
That is absolutely correct, Pete. That's that is quite. I can't really explain. It was very, very silly. Yeah, it was just a concertina effect. And Donny's just sat. I think his engine has now died off. You have to reignite it, but yeah, that is absolutely shocking, and it means there's an obstruction at the second to last corner.
I don't want to jinx anything, Owen, but the last couple of rounds of RTFR, in fact, a lot of the rounds this year have been some of the standout races in RTFR in the 3 years we've been broadcasting it on Live for Speed. Next RTFR is LX6 FE4R, so we can expect more of the same, I'm sure. But this is absolutely thrilling stuff. We've got 3 laps to go, and it's nose to tail between two of the fastest guys in LFS at the moment, Vitauskas Lugutskas for Yes Motorsports and Gabor for Sidus. Sidus have damage. Lugutskas is he's going to be sweating a bit in there now, because even though Gabor's got a mangled front end, he's still right there. He's not going away, Owen.
No, this is incredible stuff. More traffic. It's Jari Katila first. He's even more. He's 2 laps behind.
Who was that? That was Jari.
Jari's
slightly misjudged there. Yeah.
Now Jimmy, who's going to be put a lap down for the first time, he's got to. This could be decisive. Jimmy's now going into the chicane section, and it's going to be a bit of a. No, he moves out of the way. Well done. Good heads-up driving there. Doesn't hold up the leaders at all. Sobis had a crash.
That's Sobis in the Last Lap Motorsport livery. Yeah, he needs to be careful. No, he's fine as well. But it's all going off. Oh goodness. Donny is still at the final corner, parked up. He should spectate that car and get out of the way. He doesn't want to affect the rest of the race.
In
fact, now he's gone. He's gone. Right. The showdown is on. 2 laps to go as they come across the line. We're on lap 31. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, this ending, it's what you believed would happen, Pete, and we're getting it. We'll see if composure will benefit.
Lugutskas has missed a shift. Has he? He slowed down dramatically. What's happened? He's slow. And Gabor's going to have an attempt. He slowed down dramatically. I wonder if he missed a shift. This car does have a manual gearbox, so it looks like that's happened. And yeah, out of nowhere, Gabor is through and into the lead. But this is going to be the first time that he's led since the start, and it's very difficult to adjust to being the leader, as Ayub found out through the chicane a few laps ago. But Gabor, so much experience, he's managed to do it. But we know Lugutskas is really strong out of these corners. Has he got enough to get into the slipstream? No, he hasn't. He's miles back, Owen. What's happened?
His clutch temperature is fine. I think he's just.
Is he saving fuel?
He might be saving, yeah.
Has he misfueled again? That's not the first time that's happened in recent times. Lugutskas and fuel are not not in a happy place at the moment, and yeah, he's definitely fuel saving or something, because that's a deficit that's grown to almost a second in half a lap. Oh man, that's a shame. But Gabor, well. Even after his incident and all that pushing, he didn't really need to push that hard in the end. But there we go. He is leading on the final lap of SO6.
And Rony is in camera shot there. He might have enough time to avoid being in an uncomfortable spot for the blue flags. Yeah, he should be able to just offer slipstream. We'll see now his teammate ahead of him on circuit. Unite, just combating all that damage as best he can, but I think it's too little too late. Lorenzo is spooked. He's going to have to wait for the corner. Yeah, see, and I can't turn properly. He's doomed. He hits the barrier a little bit, but
I've got to interrupt, Owen.
Yes, I just about missed it, but yeah, Gabor wins it.
Yeah, he snatched it away from the Lugutskas on the final lap. Well, let's catch up with what's going on with Unite and Lorenzo. Well, we missed it as well. Lorenzo's through. We had to watch Gabor across the line. United's furious. I can't believe what's happened to him this race, but fair play to Gabor. He did everything. The Gutscats managed to hold on to P2, but what happened at the end there? 2 laps to go, and he slowed down on the back straight. Must have been fuel saving. I thought it was a missed shift, but probably something to do with fuel. Adam crosses the line in P4. A good race from him, and who is going to be 5th? Seems like we've got a bit of a wait, but it's going to be Ayub. Ayub El Hanouni for Born to Race is going to take P5 in the end, just ahead of Thamuli. So I think did we see what happened there? Thamuli was in P5, and there must have been something happened to Thamuli for him to drop back behind Ayub by quite a margin actually. So I think we missed it. That is everybody, Owen. Well, we need to get our breath back after that. That was a thrilling sprint.
Yeah, we got 31 minutes 59 seconds. So yeah, I think if Gabor could have redone that race, he knows he could have found a few extra seconds after hitting the wall, but he is the winner. That's all that matters. So the Guskas, he will take P2. We will have to figure out exactly what happened there. Rick, a lonely race for him as his teammates his teammate behind him fell off a little bit. So P3 for Rick. Adam fourth, a great run for him with Ayub, who grew into the race, finishing in the top 5. Thamuli also very strong in 6th. Lorenzo, Unite, Rony, and Mantas complete the top 10. Mantas, the first driver, lapped. From Sobis, Jimmy, Soini, Monty McCarry, Maciek, LG Meese, and Dunleak, they're also 1 lap down. Yari and Arska, World Class Alliance teammates, 2 laps down. And then PP is the last classified racer in 20th.
Yeah, and all the DNFs are on page 2. We've got Donny, who we saw parked at the final corner for a few laps. He finished 21st. Then we've got Strandberg, T-Bug, Weed, and Twincam. Twincam out very early. Didn't really see what happened there. Did we see what happened there?
He said he had trouble to set up his tyres. He wasn't happy.
Yeah, I don't remember us commentating over anything that happened, so it must have been off camera. But yeah, unfortunate for Twincam. He qualified very well, so massive blow to his championship. That.
Yeah, at this point he was an outside bet for a strong finale, but he'll have to try again in the LX6s if he wants to maintain his standing. But yeah, that was just a wild race, and Gabor will be absolutely chuffed that he got the win like that. Yeah, he will. I mean, there's a little bit of discussion going on about what happened, but a win's a win in the end, and you've got to get it to if you get it, then it's fine, and you'll take it. It doesn't matter how it happens. If you win, you'll take it. And I just want to say that this series of RTFR in this season so far has had some absolutely amazingly memorable races. I'm not saying that we haven't had memorable races in the past, but this season we've had some absolute crackers, and that was one of them. Yeah, absolutely. And there's the final pair of races to go before the summer break, so there's still time for even more moments. Round 11 in 2 weeks' time is going to be the LX6, the formidable rear-wheel drive Caterham-inspired LX6 at Fern Bay Black Reversed, one of the most difficult combinations in the sim, but also the most fun if you get it right. The LX6 is an absolute blast. FE4R is an absolute blast. It's a match made in racing heaven. Let's hope to see a big turnout and get a repeat of what happened here today, Owen, because these drivers were pushing each other from the start to the end, and they put on an absolute show for us at the front. It was awesome, fantastic to watch. Yeah, it was a real treat to see how that all came to be. Maybe some drivers will be encouraged. I'd love to try that again. Maybe the more open South City layouts rather than the tricky case that we had today, SO6. So we'll see if the drivers want to sample that again come season 2. Well, there is your race winner, Sidus Gabor, running that lovely livery in Hungarian colours. And that's all we've got time for, Owen. But thank you as ever for joining me in the commentary box for this. Chris McElroy in the background, giving us all of the drama in our ears to keep focus on. So a team effort as always. Thank you guys. Owen, I can't wait for the next round of RTFR.
That's not it for RTFR, though, of course. We do have XL coming up next week, and that is going to be a blast as well. That's going to be Rockingham Sports Car without the chicane in the UFR. We're going to be seeing plenty of UFRs on their roof during that race.
Yes, definitely. Well, so yeah, we'll have Meek on board for that one.
We will.
I'm sure he'll be putting his feet up after this evening. He's been worked very hard.
He did. He finished
33 minutes
today.
or so. Yeah, fair play to him. And yeah, thanks for watching, everyone.
Yeah, brilliant stuff. Thanks, Owen, as ever. Thank you all as well for watching. Sorry we couldn't bring to you South City in the splendid sunshine, as you can see in the pictures in the background. It has been a few very depressing rounds of weather in South City over the last few broadcasts. Hopefully we can get some sun back at some point.
Yeah, be duly noted for next time. Make sure it's sunny.
Well, Rony did tell me before we went live that he didn't mean to load the dull weather. He it's just whatever LFS gave him when he loaded the track and he left it. So I won't blame Rony this time. But hopefully we get some sunny weather back on our broadcast. I just wanted to leave you with this, just to brighten up your day a bit. Thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Good night.
So long.